Hey, what's going on, good people? This is Gardner Douglas, and I am your Oyster Ninja. Today we got a great show lined up for you. We're going to be talking all about oysters and wine, and rosé and champagne, and all that good stuff too. Hope you guys enjoy it. I interviewed Miss Daphnee Duret, and really had a blast, talking with my old friend. And we met up right off of Riggs Road in D.C., and we went to Culture Coffee 2. It's a nice little new hip spot, coffee shop, of course, and had some good conversation over some good coffee. They got artwork, hung up all over the place, and it really looks nice, and it gives you that nice, cool, relaxing vibe. And I believe they have like a community party or something that's about to go down over that way. So if you guys are in DC, stop by Culture Coffee 2. And they were nice enough to turn down the music for us. Well, a little bit. They still had a little bit of pots and pans, but we can't stop them from working. We appreciate them, letting us stay and complete the interview. So, yeah, Culture Coffee 2. Also, I got kicked out of a Facebook group this week, and it was bittersweet. I tell you, don't be on Facebook breaking group rules, Don't be like me. Be better than me. Don't be on vegan groups talking about oysters. They don't like it. That's not what I got kicked out for this time. That was last time, but I'm learning. I guess third time's a charm, I guess. But yeah, I was in a DC based group, and I just asked a question. What's everybody listening to? I want to know what you're listening to on your podcast list. And I may have brought up my own podcast, and I may have went to check the notification, and I may have been kicked out of the group, So, yeah, it's cool. Whatever. Win some, you lose some. I didn't really entertain on that group anyway, so, hey, it is what it is. What else is going on? We had some oysters shipped in from Onliest Oyster Company. They ship you fresh oysters, and I got a whole video where I'm opening the package up and basically shucking some oysters live for you. And that's on the Facebook page, The Oyster Ninja Podcast on Facebook. And that's our Facebook group, so go check that out. And man, those were some delicious oysters. I end up eating half of them raw, and the other half I put in the oven. Bake those babies up with some barbecue sauce and cheddar cheese, and those things came out nice and smoky. And I even threw some pepperoni on some of them, and that was really good. So, telling you, if you want some oysters shipped to you, check out the link in the bottom of the comments and get you some oysters. Those particular oysters were farm raised in the northern neck, I believe. I want to say, but they were good. That's all that matters. The oysters were good. They were fresh. It didn't take long to get here. I mean, they were still cold. Still had the ice pack inside. The oysters were great. So yeah, check those guys out. Also, I want to thank everyone who ordered their Oyster Ninja pins. If you haven't saw them, check out the Instagram, Oyster Ninja PC. Got some pins. You can stick it on your jacket, your coat, your book bag, your hat, whatever you want to stick it on. One of them says, "I heart oysters." The other says, "Make oysters great again." And of course, the last one has the Oyster Ninja symbol with, Oyster Ninja PC or Oyster Ninja Podcast with Gardner Douglas. Thank you to everyone who ordered some pins. That's basically going to help put a couple dollars, to this podcast. Help buy some new mics and some other things. But hey, just trying to, make this a good experience for everybody. So, yeah, thank you again. Like I said, if you haven't seen them, check them out on Instagram. Check them out on the Facebook page. Shoot me an email if you would like some, oysterninjapc@gmail.com. Look, I'm not going to talk y'all to death. Let's get into this podcast. Let me know what you think, of course, and I'll be talking to you in a couple minutes. All right, Daphnee. Duret.
It's like a duet, but you're adding an R in front of the E. So it's like Duret. Yeah.
All right, Daphnee Duret.
Yes.
Yeah. Who are you? Where are you from?
Who am I? Where am I from? Well, I'm a Haitian woman, born in Haiti too. And then we moved to Florida, and I came here to D.C. to attend Howard University.
Howard.
Okay. Hey, you.
I wouldn't know.
And then you're supposed to say, you know.
Oh, let's try it again.
Ready?
Yep.
Hey, you.
You know?
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. Okay.
All right.
And I fell in love with D.C. So I decided to stay, and I got really sucked in to this restaurant industry. Even though my focus was elsewhere, or my studies were focused elsewhere in school, I just fell in love with the restaurant industry, and I've been doing it ever since.
So did you fall in love with the restaurant industry or the money?
Wow. I would say the industry itself, because the money in the restaurant industry, believe it or not, goes up and down. But in the end, it always balances it out. But mostly it goes up and down for you. You know?
Okay, Daphnee. I'm going to act like you ain't rich or nothing, but
whatever. Let's move off of that.
Okay. So how was Howard? What did you study?
I studied psychology and occupational therapy out of Howard. And I loved Howard. I will tell you there were times in biology where our professors were up with us until late in the evening. And it was overwhelming for me, but a good overwhelming to see that many African American people wanting to accomplish such great things. So it empowered me. It made me feel good. It made me better, if anything. You can't come up out of Howard and not be a better person.
I heard that.
Yeah.
This is a little off topic, but so I was listening to this podcast, and they was talking about African Americans and basically mental health.
Yes.
So what's your I know that's kind of broad, but what's the whole thing? What's wrong with us, or is there something wrong with us, or what's going on?
I would never say that there's something wrong.
Is that too broad to touch on, or?
It is broad. It is broad.
Yes, it is.
But I will say that I feel like all of us are perfectly made.
Okay.
It's just a matter of tapping into different things that lie within us. Sometimes the decisions that we make can affect others in a positive way, and sometimes the decisions that we make can affect others in a very, very negative way. But it's how we take it.
Okay.
And it's how we react. But I would never say, as humankind, something is wrong with us.
Right,
if anything,
right.
We are balanced.
Right.
You have the greatest and you have the lowest. And sometimes you have to experience those in life. It's just a matter of how you take it.
No doubt.
But I feel like overall, in the African American community, we shy away from seeking mental health.
Boom.
It's sort of quite a taboo for you to even think about going to see a therapist. I remember when I told some of my friends that I was studying psychology, and they were like, for what? You know what I mean? Right. But it's important for us to talk to someone about how we're really feeling. Because if you're living a life where no one really knows you, then what kind of life are you really living? And we shouldn't be ashamed of the things that we've done. We're just human.
Right.
So it's good for us to talk about that and see how we're all connected in some kind of way, in my opinion. Anyway, this is just me.
Your opinion matters, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Daphnee opinions matter.
So what was your first experience in into the restaurant world, and was it negative, positive?
It was quick, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
I was just looking for like some extra money, during undergrad. And I was actually working at a leather store.
Leather?
Yeah, like
Oh,
Wilson
okay.
Leather. I think it's still there. I think that's what it's called, in Union Market, in Union Station.
Okay.
And then this girl that I was working with, she was about to quit because she heard that Capital City Brewing Company was hiring hostesses. And she told me how much they were getting paid, and I was like, "Oh, but I don't want to deal with people like that, because people go crazy when they come to restaurants.
No doubt.
They lose themselves."
Yeah, right.
And so, but I was like, "Well, let me just try it at least." So I went in there, got the job as a hostess. Within 3 months, my general manager, I believe his name was Spencer Green. He taught me so much. He was like, "You're getting on my floor as a server," and I was like, "Nope." I was like, "I can't do that." I was like, "I literally cannot serve people. Like, that's just too much pressure." And he was like, "Nope, you're going to be on my floor, and that's it. And you're going to do great." And I did.
Okay, there you go. Big money.
Because, like, I actually care about people, and I want people to have a good time, and I take this profession extremely seriously. Even though a lot of people, even some people in my family, are like, "Why are you waiting tables?" But I love it, and I'm good at it.
Oh, I know. I saw you in action, Daphnee. We know. We know. So, any memorable guests?
Oh my goodness, there's been so many. Garden, I'm 38, and I've been doing this, when I was like, when I was, young. So, I will say the most memorable people are the people that I feel I sort of changed their mood.
Oh, snap.
When they came in. Because people can be having any sort of kind of day. But when they come to my tables, I want to create something for them. So, being able to change someone's mood, whether it's with alcohol or whether it's with some good food or just being kind, those are the things that stick out in my mind. And as long as I can keep doing that, I feel pretty good about life in general.
Cool. So we met at Union Market in D.C., Northeast. I'm always talking about Union Market because it's just so awesome.
It is.
And, Rappahannock Oyster Bar.
Yes.
And, fun times.
Fun times. Fun
So,
times.
where can people find you at now? I'm not trying to create any stalkers for you because you've just sold yourself at a high standard.
Is that what I was doing?
Yes, because like if you're having a bad day, come see me.
Come see
If you want your mood changed, come see me. If you want to drink, hey, come see me.
Speaking of drinks, I would definitely have to say that where I am right now, which is the Four Seasons Bourbon Steak, our beverage program is just so on point. I have to say, it's just, I'm inspired by our cocktails. They're innovative, they're seasonally appropriate, they're delicious, they're easy to drink depending on your flavor profile. And our wine team was just nominated for a James Beard Award.
Oh, wow.
Holler back. Yes. Shout out to Bourbon Steak Wine Team.
You know.
Well played. Well played.
I try.
Yes.
I try. I'm learning.
Yes. With the Four Seasons Bourbon Steak right now.
Okay. And where
or
is that
Michael
at?
Mina's Bourbon Steak, I should say.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
We got it.
It's in Georgetown, right on the corner of 28th and M. It's been there for 9 years. And so we're talking about delicious steaks. And from someone who has eaten a lot of steak, I would say ours, like the flavor is just amazing. But yeah, that's where I am right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So the reason why we're here is wine.
Yeah.
And of course how it relates to oysters and everything else. Because oysters and wine work.
They do.
So
they do.
Can you introduce us? Like,
yes.
What is a wine?
Well, simply put, like a wine is an alcoholic drink made from fermented grape juice. And that's simply put. It's an aging process, and depending on how it's aged, for how long it's aged, which grape it is, where it was planted, how it's grown, you get delicious flavor profiles and combinations.
Boom. I love it.
Yes.
I'm not a big wine drinker, you know, but okay, there we go. It's some listeners out here that love some wine and they want to know more about it and they want to know how to eat it with their oysters.
Yes, and I love wine.
Easy enough, Daphnee.
You know, a glass of red wine a day could really help you out in so many ways, psychologically, physiologically too.
You learned that in class?
I did, and just by experience, I feel.
Practice makes perfect.
Yes.
Cool. So, what's the proper way to drink wine? Doesn't matter.
I wouldn't say there's a proper way to drink wine. I think,
to taste it.
Or to taste it. I would say definitely smell it first.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our nose is connected to our taste buds. So it's good to look at the wine, smell the wine, and then drink the wine, and then probably smell it again. So you can actually experience the flavor profiles, experience, the fruit or lack thereof, or tannins, or the bite, basically.
The what? The tannins?
Yeah, tannins.
What is that?
Tannins are basically these components and they come from the skin of the grape. And so the darker the grape gets, the more tannins that you'll experience. It's like the bite, it is. It's almost like that. That can also be acid.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's, that's what tannins are. I'm sorry, I was getting distracted.
No, you're good.
So that's what tannins are. And so smelling the wine, tasting it, is great. But if you just want to, drink it,
right.
You don't have to go through that whole process.
That's more what I do.
Yeah.
But then when I see that people next to me put their whole nostrils in the nose in the glass,
yes.
What are they doing over there? What am I not doing?
They are experiencing the smell, the aromas, which can sometimes be so connected. Even though I love being surprised, sometimes you'll smell certain things, and then once you taste the wine, it's something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that experience too, but it's usually pretty connected.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that with red and white, or do you?
Red and white.
Okay.
Red and white.
Whole
you
nostrils.
can smell it. Just put your whole.
Put your nose in it.
Just put your nose in it.
Easy enough. So the difference between red and white is just the grape?
It's just the grape.
Okay.
It's really just the grape. And that's the thing about, with oysters, though, is that I'm a huge red wine drinker. I love big, big, big reds. But the thing is that with such huge tannins, and then you're eating the oysters, it can sometimes produce a metallic flavor in your mouth. So you have to be very careful when drinking red wine with oysters or pairing red wine with oysters. But if you stay within rosés, even not too well-known grapes like Pulsar from Jura, France, which resembles a rosé, medium to full body red. Zweigelt, which are an Austrian wine or Austrian grape. Chocolina, those type of staying in that sort of family, I think can help. And even a sparkling rosé would be great as well. Anything sparkling when you really think about it.
Okay. What exactly is a rosé? I hear people rosé all day and rosé yay, and what is a rosé?
A rosé is, I would say, a light to medium. It can even be full-bodied red grape, but it just sort of depends on the skin contact. And sometimes you can make a rosé with a white wine injected in there as well, but it's usually, I would say, a red wine grape, or a red grape wine.
Easy enough.
Easy enough. But yeah, so people that enjoy white but not necessarily really want like a light body Pinot Noir or something like that. If you go to that rosé section, you know, you could find like a nice balance. And some of the best rosés are made from Pinot Noir grapes. It's just a matter of skin contact.
Okay.
And that's how you get orange wine too, from a matter of skin contact.
Ever heard of an orange wine?
Are you serious? We had one on Rappahannock Oyster Bar's menu.
Yeah.
Yeah. So orange wine is a white grape that you sort of like manipulate. So you're keeping the skin on for a matter of like days to a matter of months. But it's a white grape. So it's like, you can say it's like a white rosé almost.
Got you.
Possibly.
So how would you go about pairing, let's just say a basic rosé, which I don't even know what a basic rosé is, but how would you go about pairing a rosé with an oyster? Like, would it matter if the oyster is sweet, salty, mild? Does it matter? Or what would go best with it?
Well, I feel like when it comes down to pairing anything, any kind of wine with oysters, you are seeking that minerality, right? That wine has got to contain some minerality because you're getting so much minerality from any oyster. So as long as you're keeping that in mind, then you can conquer this thing, you know. So I would seek out, like I said, things like pulsars, Zweigelt, Chocolina, you know, sort of drier type of rosés to pair with an oyster.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess let's go back to the basics. How do you eat an oyster and drink wine together? Like, does one go before the other? Or how do you tell your customers, like, oh, I want to pair this oyster with a wine? So do you walk them through like, hey, drink a sip first, or smell your wine first and then sip, then eat an oyster, or eat your oyster, drink wine? Does it matter that?
I don't really think it matters, but like in the serving process, like steps of service, like you ask for them to get a drink first, you know, and then in certain circumstances, if they are specifically looking for a great wine to go with the oyster, then you should be definitely prepared to name a few, you know, depending if they want white, sparkling, or red. So it all kind of depends on like how it goes with the specific guest. But typically, if a guest comes in and they're looking for a specific wine to go with oysters, my direct answer, like quickly, is a Muscadet. Muscadet goes so well with oysters. You have like that minerality there. It's light, it's crisp, from the Loire Valley, France. So that's a definite go-to, or even a glass of champagne. I think champagne and oysters, you know, with a little bit of caviar, you can't go wrong with that.
So you're saying this with a smile on your face. So, like, that was going to be my next question. Like, why does champagne and oysters go together so well?
I mean, you know, you're going back to, we can go even back to like terroir of champagne. Hello, take it on back. You can go back to like the terroir of champagne. You're talking about chalk soil, marine sediments, you know, marine sediments, which are basically oysters. When you think about it.
They started out together.
It's like a beautiful little love story, you know? They just go together. And so
they met up when they were young. And then they separated for just a brief little time.
Yeah.
But they came back at the end of the movie.
Because when it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
It's love. Come on.
So yeah, if you're pairing like a Brut Rosé or a Blanc de Blanc, which is like 100% Chardonnay, I'm sorry, a Brut Champagne or a Blanc de Blanc Champagne, that will go perfectly. Or even just your regular, you know, combination of Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Meunier. Those are the three major grapes that make champagne.
So what makes a Chardonnay and a Pinot Noir? Like, what are the differences? Is it like the region?
It's like saying no. It's basically like saying what makes an apple an apple. It's just different grapes and what you do with them and where you do it. You know.
So, what is Pinot Noir?
It's a red grape.
It is an actual grape.
Yep, it's a red grape.
Yeah, I'm gonna go pick me some Pinot Noir.
Right, you could just do that and feel free.
Get the out of here. Okay. Right. And the same thing with Chardonnay.
Yep, just another grape.
I'm learning.
On what you're doing with it.
I hope y'all learning. Or maybe
great.
y'all know this already. I'm just showable.
A lot of people can know this already, but a lot of people don't know this already. So it's a good thing. Cool. I'm happy you're doing this.
So as far as like, I know the next level will be like the dessert wines.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, is a dessert wine only at dessert time?
No.
I knew that. I was just joking. I knew somebody was thinking it, so I'm asking for a friend, as a matter of fact. I'm asking for Facebook.
I'm asking for a friend. Awesome. Yeah, but there are two major, I would say, dessert wines that I would pair, or dessert drinks that I would pair with oysters. First and foremost, sherry. You know, sherry. Pinot sherry. It's the lightest, driest, and it's made from Palomino grapes.
Palomino.
Right? And then a Tokaj, which is a Hungarian.
Hold on.
Hungarian.
Hold on. I'm confused now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. But I'm asking for a friend still.
Yes.
Anyway, so it's just a Chardonnay grape, and it's where does sherry come in at? Why is it called sherry?
Oh, so you have like, it's like asking why is it called rosé. It's just a type of like, you know, fermented alcoholic beverage.
Okay.
Basically, you have like different types. Just like, you know, champagne is called champagne.
Right.
From, you know, Champagne, France, or the region of Champagne, France. So it's just a type of alcoholic beverage.
So for my friends that don't know, it's only a champagne if it's from Champagne, France.
Yes.
Like I was telling them.
Yeah, exactly. So, but other, like outside of France, outside of Champagne, they can be called crémant, you know? So crémant are like sparkling wines made outside of, you know, Champagne, France. And then you have cava, that's sparkling wine from Spain. And then you have Prosecco. And so it's like, it's all sparkling wines. But it can only be called Champagne if it is made in the region of Champagne, France.
Have you been to Champagne, France?
You know, I have not been to Champagne, France. I traveled to Paris before. Mm-hmm. I've been to Paris twice.
Okay.
But I've never been to Champagne, France. And I always tell people, now that I'm so into wine and learning about wine, I want to visit the countries that I've been to, like France and Italy and Greece, for the experience of wine.
Right.
You know? Like, I want to go in those fields and
sounds
see
like
how
a road
it's really
trip.
made. Quite the road.
Or a sky trip?
Gardner, you are too much.
Some kind of trip.
Yes.
So sorry they take you off.
No, it's okay.
Back to dessert wines,
yes.
I guess.
Yeah, so sherry or Tokaj, but like a dry Tokaj, which is a Hungarian wine, dessert wine. It's sort of like between Sauvignon Blanc and Riesling.
Okay, I love Riesling.
Right?
That's
okay.
my go. Oh, and the other one, it starts with a G. It's like, looks like it's a German word or
Gruner
something.
Veltliner.
Yeah, what
that
you
has
said.
to be the one that you're talking
about. It's a lot of letters. Don't look like they go together.
Or even like a Gewürztraminer, but I think you're talking about Gruner Veltliner.
Could be that one too. Who knows?
I think you're talking about.
Yeah, I like some weird ones, but it's all of them are close to. You know, hold on. I'm just gonna say this. Is it weird that I just drink the bottle? Like, do I have a problem? Like, I don't want a glass of wine because a glass of wine doesn't do it. I just give me a bottle, and I'm good.
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is that you'll be someone great to serve as a one-top. Getting a whole bottle, my brother.
Right.
But I don't think, you know, I don't judge, you know.
Right.
There's been times when I drank a whole bottle of wine.
Not you.
There's been times. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Okay.
Just as long as, you know, you don't drink and drive.
Nope, wouldn't do it. Would not do it.
We're all good.
Not safe.
We're all good.
So yeah, anything else on dessert wines?
No, those would be like the two main ones.
Now, does it matter what oyster goes with that? Like salty, sweet?
Well, for me personally, I wouldn't pair something that's extremely, extremely fruit forward with an oyster. You know, like I said, like I want it to stay dry and packed with minerality. Because especially like with the salty oyster, like maybe with like the Rappahannock,
Sweet and
you
buttery.
know how they're sweet and buttery.
Right.
Maybe you can do, you know, a very like dry Riesling, just like with a hint of sweetness that can, you know, compare, you know, that can complement that flavor profile.
So you
but
want something
way,
that's not similar in taste. So you won't want a sweet oyster with a sweet wine.
You could.
Or you could.
Or you just could stay with it being dry and, you know, packed with minerality.
So let's go back to Union Market and Rappahannock.
Yes.
So what were your go-to pairings, let's say, for the Rappahannock, the Stingray, and the Old Salt?
Well, I would say whenever someone ordered oysters and they asked me for a pairing, I would directly, you know, direct them to the Muscadet that we had.
To go with any of them?
Yeah, really.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just such a great pairing. And if they wanted bubbles, then, you know, we'll figure out a bubble, you know, a sparkling wine. But definitely, like, the Muscadet was the thing that I would go to. And I believe there was one time where we even had, like, a Chablis on the menu.
Oh, what?
A Chablis.
What is that?
So that's sort of, it's sort of like north and a little bit to the east in the Burgundy region of France, I believe. And so usually with Chablis, they're rich in minerality, and you're using sort of like less oak. You know, you're not sort of like aging it way too long in oak barrels. So it's sort of like Chardonnay. Like if someone was looking for like a lighter Chardonnay, I usually go towards Chablis, if that helps at all. But yeah.
That helps a lot.
Yeah, so usually like if we had that, so Muscadet, Chablis, or some sparkling wine would usually be like my go-to for oysters.
Okay.
Yeah, in the red category. I mean, in the white category.
In the white, of course.
Yes.
We knew that.
Red stays on my mind. It does.
Heard that. Anything else? Anything else you want to add?
No, I thank you. Thank you. This has been so much fun. I mean, I'm not like the expert, but if you sit at my table, you know, I can direct you to have an amazing experience.
Oh, we know. You gave your credentials. We know. You can do it. You get the job done. You're going to turn our mood all around.
Yay.
So thank you, Daphnee, for sitting down with the Oyster Ninja.
Ooh, I love that. Oyster, I just see you chopping them up.
I'm chopping. It's a slow chop these days, but I'm still chopping. You know, you can't give up.
Thank you for having me.
No doubt.